Good morning, everybody. We are here on this beautiful day, and I'll be completely candid with you. The thought for this morning's live stream comes from a Facebook post I saw the other day, and it stated the premise. That's one of the things I like about Facebook posts. They have to be short, because otherwise you're not going to read them. This one was short, but it started me thinking, and perhaps it'll start you thinking. It said simply this: don't live your life in cruise control. Don't live your life in cruise control.
Well, it's original.
It is
I've
original.
never heard
I
that
hadn't
in my
heard
life.
that one before.
And I'm glad you did say it was a Facebook post where I couldn't believe how beautiful the design was on the top of the cappuccino.
No, it was not a cappuccino post.
Okay.
But it sort of spoke to me because I don't know if you ever had this experience, but back when I was doing a lot of commuting, I mean an hour and a half each way, 5 days a week, lots and lots and lots of time in the car, I would find myself arriving at my destination without any recollection of how I got where I got. Just, driving mindlessly, and my head is somewhere else. And that was not a once in a while phenomena. That happened a lot. And that may be why the cruise control thing resonated with me a bit. So what I take from that is, don't use cruise control as a substitute for being aware of the world around you. And maybe I'm crazy on this one, and maybe there is no deeper message, but I don't know. Chris, what do you think? Does this resonate with you at all?
Sometimes simple is profound and challenging. So it's funny as you say that, and I'm talking, and it is original. Don't live life. I had never seen or heard that. It reminds me though of a John Lennon song lyric from 40 years ago, where he says, "Life's the thing that's passing by while we're making other plans."
Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Life's the thing that happens. Yeah, did I get that wrong?
I love that
I
one.
paraphrased.
Yep, it's the same thing.
It's in perfect iambic pentameter, and it's good John Lennon songwriting. But it's true of a lot of us, and it's not living in the gifted beauty of the moment that God is giving us. And in this moment, we can have greater illumination, or we can just be blocking all of God's perfection by worrying about, not even worrying, just hoping for some future event. If I think I once mentioned, can't remember if it was in a sermon or a live stream anymore. There's been so much of both. But
True.
I had a friend, I think it was during stewardship last year, but a friend who said, if I ever get to $10 million, I'm done. Well, when he got to $10 million, and he was a bankruptcy attorney, and in 2008, 2009, he had more cases than he'd had in the previous 15 years and
sure.
hired staff. But again, you're paying somebody an hourly wage while you're banking lawyer hours.
Right.
And so he hit his 10 million, but what he did was he immediately changed to, when I have 20 million.
Just move the goalposts. Constantly move the goalposts.
There's no touchdowns.
Right?
But when of all people, he was such a hard worker, he's a very good attorney, he deserved a touchdown. But life had passed away, he made new, harder plans.
And so he doubled down on cruise control. Not only did he have regular cruise control, he bought a new car with that adaptive cruise control so he could spend even less time on it.
Full autopilot.
Yeah, complete autopilot. And I guess that's part of the equation. Where I'm really going with this is don't postpone what you'd like to do, and don't let just the going through the motions part of your everyday life consume you. I had a situation early on in my career. I went to work for this company, and they introduced me to what I thought was the grizzled old guy who, as I think about it, was probably then the same age I am now. But he had on his desk, remember the desk calendars everybody used to have, the day-by-day desk calendar, and you just turn it the next day? I noticed that on his desk calendar he had written a number, like 4,726. And so I said, well, I'm just curious, what is that? And he turned a couple of pages and showed me that each day it went down. That was the number of days he had until retirement. 4,726 days till retirement. This guy was on the countdown already. What he was doing was saying, I'm just marking time on cruise control between now and then. My life will begin the day I retire. You probably know what's coming in the rest of this story, don't you? Not terribly long after his retirement, he had a massive heart attack, and that was the end of this actually really good guy. But he was stuck. He was living in cruise control, just trying to get to that point where he could in fact be happy, trying to get to that $10 million or now $20 million. Do we do that? Do we say, oh, life will be better when this happens, when that happens, when I get a new car, when I get out of debt, when I lose 25 pounds, when I retire, but until then, I'm just going to keep going through the motions. Don't do that. I guess that's the message. Don't do that.
I have one little tag on that takes an extra minute. One thing I sometimes do with people, sometimes frustrates them, but it's a really freeing exercise. I say, okay, let's play the $1 billion game. I've given you $1 billion. What will you do differently? Most people say, well, I'll quit my job. And I'll say, just give me an activity. They say, I'll spend more time in my garden. And if you discuss with them, actually look at their life, you'll very quickly learn that that very day, there's a free half hour there that they could spend in their garden and not watch the nightly news or something. And we can make those things come true instantly.
Right.
And I'm reminded also of, we don't want to be like, there's a Bible story exactly like this. Jesus talks about the guy who just has so much abundance in his agricultural success. He tears down his little barns to build big barns, and he finally gets to the point, like your friend says, right. I'm there, and unfortunately, the God of the heavens say, tonight your life will be accounted for, and so all his storehouses full of grain are for naught, and somebody else gets to eat it.
Right.
So we don't want to be that guy. We don't want our life on cruise control.
We don't want to live our life on cruise control. We don't want to postpone joy, and we don't want to miss what's going on around us. Because if we're so focused on getting to that destination, we're going to miss a lot of the beauty that God provides in our lives.
So it's a beautiful sunny day. It's a great day to start and just say, I'm in the present.
And I'm going to be in charge for a while.
There we go.